Yes, everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to another video. Firstly, find myself apologizing again. It's like I feel like every time I start some new videos, I find myself apologizing for not keeping on top of posting. Yeah, basically, I'm not even going to go into too much detail now. I've not been very active. Well, I've not been active at all on YouTube. I've got a lot of stuff going on at the minute, which, to be honest, I will explain in greater detail in a further video, but not right now. I wasn't even really going to bother filming this, to be honest, but it might make for an interesting couple of videos. I am currently in Paris in France, and I'm heading down to Milan in Italy, and then I'm going from Milan to Barcelona. See, there's a flashing orange light there. Does that mean proceed forward with caution, or is that for bikes? I don't know. That's really weird. I'll just wait till it's green and then it's safe, isn't it? Yeah, I'm heading down to Milan from Paris, from here in Paris, and then from Milan to Barcelona, and then from Barcelona back to London. So I might be able to get a couple of videos out of these couple of drives. Yeah, anyway, like I was saying, I've got a lot of stuff going on. As I said, I will get into more detail when the time is right. Now that one's flashing orange again. I'm going to proceed with caution this time. I've had loads of messages on social media, different channels of social media. When's your next video? When's your next video? Which I get all the time when I'm not posting, but it's nice to feel the love. It's nice to know that people enjoy what I do. So yeah, like I said, I wasn't really going to do anything, to be honest, but I'm doing it for you guys. I'm doing it for you lot. So we're going to make our way out of Paris, around the Périphérique, jump onto the A6 down towards Lyon, and then I'm going to go bottom side of Lyon out towards Grenoble, I think it is, and then we're going to take the Fréjus tunnel because there's delays. We've actually, funnily enough, just done a similar kind of route. I think it was only like last week, or it seems like last week, but we come out of Paris, we come out of the very same venue that I've just left here now, only about a week or so ago, to head down to Rome. And the reason I haven't filmed that trip, by the way, is because I was double driving it. I've been double driving for the last 2 weeks nearly, and I am absolutely shattered. Oh my God. We had such a tough couple of weeks, really. But yeah, we come out of Paris to go down to Rome, and went via the Mont Blanc, as you would normally go if you're going into northern Italy. And there's a massive diversion around Geneva, and then we lost about 40 to 45 minutes there, and then we must have queued for 2.5 hours for the Mont Blanc, which is just absolutely ridiculous. So the lead drivers told us to go via the Fréjus this time. So the reason we're going for the Fréjus this time is because we haven't really got time for the hold-ups now. There's not really much room for error with this one, because it's now 4 o'clock local time, Monday morning. Oh God, a couple of people. Oh my God, there's loads of people at the side of the road here. Yeah, it's now 4 o'clock Monday morning, and we're loading in to Milan tomorrow. Well, I'm not actually loading in, but we'll get around to that in a minute. Yeah, so I think, I'm not entirely sure, I think there's like 36 trucks on this. And yeah, it's literally going to be a case of driving 9-10 hours, having a daily rest, and then cracking on later on tonight / early hours tomorrow morning, running it straight into a loading, basically. So yeah, moving on to the next point, and the title of the video, the chaser. That is literally my job on this tour. Believe it or not, I'm actually running empty. And you know, as I've just explained, because like there's no time for fanning around, basically. My job is basically just to run at the back of the pack, not literally, I mean, stick on everyone's back doors, but my job is to be behind everybody else. And then if anything happens to any of the other trucks, like a breakdown or a blowout, for example, obviously I'll be there to take over their trailer and take it on to the next show to do the loading. So it doesn't happen very often. In fact, to be honest, it very rarely happens at all. But because of how tight the schedule is, that's just how it's worked out. That's what they've asked me to do. Like I said, they just wanted somebody to run at the back and be the chaser, basically. So I am the chaser. Very lucky. I've got a trailer full of fresh air, so I won't be slowing down for any hills or anything, which is good, going up and over the Alps. But as far as I'm aware now, I'm just going to be, I'm going to be going from Paris to Milan to Barcelona and back to London empty. Fantastic. I think the only downside to being the chaser is that obviously I'm the last one to leave. I'm at the back of the pack, and realistically I need to be prepared to be the first one there. I've not really got a lot of time. It's not like I can afford to just pull up and have a kip. I need to be prepared to be one of the first ones there if something were to happen to obviously one of the trucks at the front. Chances of anything actually happening are, you know, pretty slim. But if anything were to happen, you know, and they're to ring me up and say I need you, and I'm 3 hours away because I've been fast asleep, then that's no good, is it? And unfortunately, I'm pretty tired as well. I didn't have any sleep today or yesterday. But we'll get it done, I'm sure, as we always do. So that last tour that I've just done, well, like I said, the last couple of weeks has been absolutely crazy. Well, like one of the tightest schedules I've done, you know, since I've worked here. 14 years I've been here now. And that has to be one of the most grueling fortnights I've ever had here. We basically left London, so we had Amsterdam, like the tour went to Amsterdam, Frankfurt, London, Madrid, Paris, and Rome. So the start of it was all right. First 10 days or so, absolutely fine. And then the schedule just got ridiculously tight. It was like we had a show in London, one travel day, and then a load into Madrid, which is absolutely insane. Like, basically, we double drove from London to Castex, which is south side of Bordeaux, like southwest France, about an hour from the Spanish border. So we double drove from London down to Castex, where the drivers and the double drivers went into a hotel. There was another set of drivers in Castex waiting to take over the trucks as soon as they arrived and take them. So basically we left London at like basically early, I don't know, like say Sunday, for example. I think we left London at like, I don't know, say like 2 o'clock on a Monday morning, and it was in Madrid on like the Wednesday. So we got down to Castex after double driving. We did pretty much a full 21-hour shift. The signs are saying Leon straight on, and my nav is trying to take me to the right. I'm gonna have to go with the signs. I don't know why the nav is trying to take me to the right there. Weird. Yeah, anyway, so we left London at like, I don't know, like I said, about 2 o'clock on a Monday morning. We double drove it down to Castex, where we arrived Tuesday night. There was another set of drivers there waiting to take over the trucks. Drove it on through the night, obviously straight into the load-in in Madrid. We then spent the night in a hotel in Castex. We then got an overnight coach the following night from Castex down to Madrid to catch up with the trucks. We had the show that night, loaded out of Madrid. We single drove it back up to Castex, so basically once we got to Madrid, off the overnight coach, the drivers who'd single drove it from Castex down to Madrid were then waiting to go back to Castex on the coach. So once we'd done the loading, we single drove it back to Castex, where obviously the other set of drivers were waiting. We then double drove from Castex up to Paris. And then we had a similar scenario between Paris and Rome. So it was literally like we had a show in Paris, one travel day, and then a load into Rome. So we did basically the same again. We double drove out of Paris to Bologna, where again there was another set of drivers waiting to take over and single drive it onto Rome. So we double drove, like I said, Paris down to Bologna, again 19, 20 odd hours. And then the other drivers who were waiting in Bologna, once we got there that evening, drove on through the night to do the load into Rome the following morning. And then we had a night in the hotel in Bologna, and then the next morning got the train down to Rome to catch up with the trucks again. And then we had the show in Rome, and then double drove it right the way back up to Antwerp, where we did the tips. And I literally tipped in Antwerp on Saturday morning, and then ran straight down to Paris Saturday afternoon to catch up with this. And obviously it's now, we had the show, it was actually a show on Saturday, but it was already loaded in. So we had a show Saturday, show yesterday, obviously yesterday, Sunday, and now it's Monday morning, and I'm on my way down to Milan. Yeah, the last couple of weeks, it was basically 2 weeks ago on, like basically 2 weeks ago on Sunday, when I left London on the double drive to head down to Madrid, and it's just like, I've just been absolutely full on since then. It's been crazy. So fortunately there's no double driving on this, although the schedule is kind of tight. It's all doable, single driven. So I'm glad to have the cab back to myself. I spent Saturday afternoon cleaning it out. The guy who I was driving with, my double driver, was a proper nice guy. Like I had absolutely no issues with him at all. He was a really nice guy. But it's like anybody who drives, you know, you'll know for yourself. And like everybody will tell you, especially people who spend long periods of time in the cab away, it's just never fun having somebody else in the truck with you, unless it's like your missus or something, you know. And probably I can imagine that gets a little bit too much after a couple of days, but it's a confined space, isn't it? And I mean, they weren't sleeping in the cab, you know. Like I said, we had hotels, or there was a hotel every night for the double drivers, and the nights that we weren't in the truck and the trucks were moving on overnight, we had hotels. So we were never like sharing the cab, sleeping together, but just like I like my own space, you know. I'm definitely an introvert, which is probably why I get on so well doing this job. Obviously, you spend a lot of time on your own, you know. In fact, I think we've talked about this before, haven't we? You know, I've said like I'm in a good space mentally when I'm on my own. You know, and I'm at peace with myself. And yeah, it's like I said, the guy was nice, but it's just like I don't like sharing my cab with other people, and especially because like I'm a clean freak in here as well. Like especially I'm a clean freak. I don't wear shoes in the cab. Like I don't smoke. I clean the truck like 3-4 times a day inside. I'm constantly like not polishing it, but you know, I'm constantly like wiping it, dusting it, and you know, brushing and sweeping it out. I just don't like, and obviously I can't expect people not to wear shoes in the truck. Do you know what I mean? I put a mat down for him actually. I put like a towel down actually, an old towel. But I would never ask anybody else to take the shoes off. You know, at the end of the day, it's just not. It's not right, is it? But yeah, it gets a little bit too much. And like I said, after 2 weeks, it was really starting to drag on towards the end. And not just the cab sharing as well, but the fact we've just done some monstrous drives over the last couple of weeks. It really has been a grueler. Right, so just a little update. Just coming down to Macon. I had to stop back up the road and have 45 minutes on the bunk, and I never ever sleep when I'm just on a 45-minute break, because I feel like there's a risk of getting into a deep sleep and not waking up. But I was so tired. I was absolutely shattered. And it's funny, really. Well, it's not funny, but I'd stopped and had 15 minutes beforehand with the intention of having half an hour, and I thought, to be honest, that I could, well, I didn't think, I knew that I would be able to get away with just having one break. It's just within a 9-hour drive of where I'm heading for today. Just within a 9-hour drive. And I thought I can get away with just having one break. So I'd had 15 minutes. I thought I'll have half an hour later on. And then, you know, we're good to go. I stopped and had that 15 minutes. Gets back out on the road. Next thing you know, I am absolutely all over the place. I was dying. So I wonder if I can get away with just tucking it here for a minute. Yeah, I reckon so. Yeah, I was absolutely dying. So I had to pull up and have another 45 minutes on the bunk, which, like I said, I wouldn't normally do. So I had that 45 minutes. Come on, then. Oh, this car, you know what's happened here? These cars followed me into the HGV pumps, and now they're lost. The amount of people who do that because they're not paying attention. Yeah, so like I said, I stopped again and had another 45 minutes on the bunk. Came out of there absolutely dying again. So I'm just going to stop now and get a coffee. A strong coffee. But do you know what? Funnily enough, I think I'm actually just coming out the back end of it now. I'm starting to feel all right again now. But I'm going to stop here anyway and get a coffee, and I'll have 15 minutes on break again. Because I'm going to have, because I stopped sooner than I needed to, it means I will have to have another 45-minute break. So I'll have 15 minutes now while I get a strong coffee. And then I think I'll just have half an hour later on, because like I said, I'm starting to feel all right now, but worst case scenario, if I do feel bad again, then I'll stop and have another snooze on the bunk. Like I said, I wouldn't normally do it, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to risk driving tired to the point where I'm a danger to myself or anybody else. So yeah, we'll get a coffee, see how we feel. Right, off we roll again. Coffee acquired. I had a double espresso and I got a latte as well. So I reckon I'm good to go now. Like I said, it's really weird. After I'd had that 45-minute snooze. Oh, no way. There's one of our trucks, or two of our trucks, just past me here. How have they got so far behind me? Bearing in mind I've stopped already. Because I was obviously the last one to leave. That's my job, being the last one to leave, hence the term chaser truck. So yeah, I was the last one to leave, and I've not dilly-dallied, but obviously I've stopped already on the way unnecessarily, so I don't know how I've ended up not being at the back. This is the thing, I mean, I'm not obviously in communication with everybody. It's kind of like, I'm not gunning it there for that very reason. Obviously, if anything does happen to any of the trucks who are behind me, or, you know, they're supposed to be in front of me, then I need to take over them. By take over, I mean obviously take over their trailers and take them on down to the venue. Oh, I've lost my train of thought now. Yeah, as I was saying, anyway, it's really weird. It's like, I mean, I'm now 4 hours 22 minutes. So if I'd have got to here in my first 4.5, I'd have only had this one break, like, you know, say there, and then carried on to where I'm going. But obviously, because I've stopped back up the road there and had, well, an hour essentially. I had, like I said, I had 15 minutes originally. Then I had another 45 minutes while I had a kip. I've obviously now got to have another, or half an hour, because I've just had 15 minutes back there. But not to worry. Evidently, there's no huge rush, which is evident by the fact that there's a couple of trucks only just in front of me. I'm going to have to slow down now because I think their trucks are a little bit slower than mine. I'm going to end up catching them up. I'm tempted to even have another 15-minute break now somewhere, just to make sure they get ahead. Let me out or not? They don't flash you out here. You know, like at home when you're trying to, oh, what are you doing? I'm coming. Oh my God. Zero communication. Like, you're just sitting right on the back end there. It's weird. Like at home, they will flash you out, but here they're just like, yeah. So anyway, as I was trying to say, it's really weird. Like I said, I had that 15 minutes, came out of there absolutely shattered. pulled up because I felt like I was getting dangerous. Pulled up, 45-minute snooze. Which normally a little power nap, see, a little power nap is all right, but like you obviously don't want to get into a deep sleep because that's when you risk not waking up. But a little power nap normally does enough just to give you a little booster. No, like I said, I had 45 minutes on the bunk, came out of there, absolutely dying again. So, just before I pulled in there to get that coffee, started feeling all right again. So, just weird. But we're good now, we're good. I'm feeling confident, I'm feeling good, I'm feeling refreshed. I'm feeling fueled up. And hopefully I've got now 2 hours 41. Got 2 hours 41 before I need another break. Hopefully I'll get down into the Alps before I need the next part of my break, so I can get a nice picture for the thumbnail. I've no idea what's going on here or why there's so much traffic. It's been crazy today. Like since about 7 o'clock this morning, the traffic on the roads has just been mad. Oh no. Oh, I thought that was gonna decide not to work. Nice tight one that was. So I've just been having a look on Google Maps back there while I was on my break, and it looks like the traffic hold-up on the A43 is just around by Chambéry, and I'm just coming up to Chambéry shortly. Now, obviously, I could have stayed there. I don't have to go and sit in it, but like I said, I'm just shy of 250 miles from Milan, and I do want to get that on within a 4.5 hour drive. So ideally, I need to get 200 miles there or thereabouts. So yeah, I've got 2 hours and 24 remaining, so that should be enough to get round. Chambéry, get a little bit closer, like I said, hopefully get about 50 miles. I mean, I should be getting 50 miles done within 2.5 hours, even with road closures and traffic. I don't have to go and sit in it, but you know, the time that I don't spend going to sit in the traffic will cost me later on anyway. I'm obviously having to have a break on the way into Milan, so seeing as it's daytime and the weather's all right, I'll go and do a bit more driving. Well, I'll tell you what, I just come right round Chambéry on the cruise control. Absolutely no hold-ups whatsoever. Like I said, when I was in the services there, looking on Google Maps, it was saying there was road closures, long traffic delays, diversions, all sorts. Literally come round there on cruise. I've not lost a single second in any hold up. So winner winner chicken dinner. And I'm now within 4 hours. It reckons 4 hours. Well, it reckons 4 hours and 1 minute to the venue from here. And I've still got an hour and 36 driving left. Obviously, I'm not going to do that because I need to make sure that I'm at the back of the pack. But I'm probably just going to bung it in the next services, to be honest, and call it a day. So aside from feeling like I was going to die earlier, it's been a great day's driving, really. Or morning's drive. I really enjoy the scenery down here. In my opinion, I probably prefer coming through the Frejus than I do the Mont Blanc. I would say the scenery is probably better down towards the Blanc, but it's flatter down here and I feel like it's faster because there's not so many mountains to go up or big hills. I don't feel like you don't lose as much time coming down this way as you do going through the Blanc. Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe that's just how it feels. But it certainly feels quicker to me coming down here than it does going through the Mont Blanc. Love that, man. Love that. What a bit of scenery that is. Like I said, the way the mountains almost just part and the road goes, through the middle almost. Amazing. Well, I'm absolutely starving, so I timed it just about perfect. Just getting to the point where I'm ready for something to eat now. It's definitely flatter coming down here than it is going through the Blanc. Like, it's not just me. It's 100% flatter. It's a nice wide one for a change. So that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, will be that for today. Alright then, so here we go. Shift number 2, which should put us in Milan in around about 3 hours, 3.5 hours, say. It's saying 3 hours 12 minutes from here, 251 kilometers. But I think there's a road closure on the other side of the Frejus. I'm not sure if the sat-nav is picking that up or not. So I might lose 10 or 15 minutes. Probably going to have to jump off the motorway and run a national somewhere for a junction or two. But I'm now at the back. We've had it confirmed. Everybody's been sharing the location in the WhatsApp group, so I'm definitely at the back now. The chaser is chasing again. I can't believe they've got washing machines there. How did I not see that? Oh, unbelievable. I can't believe I've only just seen that as I'm going to leave now. I really needed to do some washing. Well, I need to do some washing. I've been away for, I think, coming up to about 5 weeks. To be fair, I've got loads and loads and loads of clean clothes. I've probably got, I don't know, 6 to 7 weeks worth of clean clothes with me. I've got a suitcase up on the top bunk, absolutely full to the brim of t-shirts, boxer shorts, socks, and I've got plenty of pairs of shorts and stuff with me. But it's not finding the clean clothes that's the problem, it's storing the dirty clothes. I've got an IKEA bag as well up on the top bunk, which I put all my dirty clothes in, dirty washing. And the IKEA, it's just bursting at the seams, the IKEA bag, because I've just not had a chance to get any washing done yet. If I'd known there was some washing machines there, I could have gone up and used them today, but never mind. I think I'm gonna venture out and get some done in Milan. I don't need, to be honest, like I said, I don't need the clean clothes. I just need to free up some room for some more dirty washing, because I think I've got another couple of weeks away yet. Yeah, so I'm back at the back. Chaser's chasing. Just a steady run down now to Milan. Should be there about 4:30, and then I get to go to bed because I'm empty. Obviously, everybody else is going to be waiting up to load in, whereas obviously I've got nothing to load in. A trailer full of fresh air, so I'll get down there. And I've had a few hours this afternoon. I probably had 3 or 4 hours this afternoon. I had to leave the engine running. It was that hot, and the cooler on this new truck, on this new Scania, is nowhere near as good as it is on the old Scania that I had, the 2019 Scania. And I don't know how true it is, but somebody said they've changed the gas or something in it. It's a different kind of gas now. Like I said, I don't know how true that is. I'm only going by what I've heard, what somebody's told me. But yeah, apparently they've changed the gas in the aircon. And the new aircon, like I said, in this new truck is nowhere near as good or powerful as it was in the old truck. It is, don't get me wrong, it's alright. But if You have to have the night cooler absolutely blasting to get any good use out of it. Whereas the old one, you could set it on about 17, 18 degrees, and it was all right. But this, I mean, you just have to have the blowers on like 4 or 5 for it to be even worth having. And then the problem is then it just drains the batteries. And I mean, I've got leisure batteries on here, so it's never going to flatten the actual battery. I'll always be able to start the truck, but I'm only ever going to get an hour out of it before the batteries are flat. So it's kind of like, what's the point? So I don't think I'm too far from the Frasers now. I'm probably about 10 or 15 minutes or so away. So the lead driver, when we went down through the Blanc last week, the lead driver seems to think it should work off the toll here should work off your toll box, but it never did. I had to pay on the fuel card, so just get my fuel card handy because I've got a feeling I'm gonna have to use it again now. Hello Italy. Buongiorno Italia. See, they've opened a new tunnel here. I heard, see, I didn't really think about that. I heard something about that a few days ago, but literally nothing came the other way when I was in the tunnel, and obviously I think that's what it is. I think one tunnel goes each way now, so you won't see oncoming traffic in the same tunnel. Although the road, I'm just going to change my country over quickly. The road up to the tunnel from the parking where I parked today was super quiet, super quiet. I must have only passed 1 or 2 cars in 15 to 20 minutes driving, like. don't know what it is, but I just love driving at this time of night. I think I've talked about this before. Something weird about me, I'm sure there is. There must be to have done this job for so long. You know, almost living in solitude, I guess, and really enjoying it. But there's just something about driving into the early Alps that I just really like. I find it so peaceful. I find it so calm and peaceful. Over here, anyway. Not so much in the UK when all the bloody roads are closed all the time. But out here, just peace, just calm, tranquility. Right, just 9 kilometers now from the venue. I just pulled in the services there because I've just figured out that for some reason the wireless mic wasn't working, or it was working but not connecting to the camera. So I've just pulled in there to fix it, because when I'm not using it, I put it back in the case, obviously, so the battery doesn't run out. And then when I took it out of the case, I realized it wasn't connected to the camera. There's a blue flashing light on it, and like it should be a solid light when the camera's connected, when it's connected to the camera. And it was flashing, so I thought it's obviously not connected. So I don't know whether, when I came out of where I parked for the day, I don't know if it's been connected or not. So it might be the case that the microphone wasn't on then, but obviously I won't know now until I edit this footage later on. But it's all fixed now anyway, it's all working again. Hate this junction here. I hate this junction. Like, it's so confusing. It is to me anyway, because I don't do it all the time. But it's one of them where, like, whichever lane you get in, you're kind of committed to going that way. Oh, no. Shit. I think I've come to the wrong one. That's exactly what I mean. That's exactly what I mean. I don't know if my tag works here or not. Oh, no. Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. Can't believe it. Just cocked up on camera. Oh, what an idiot. I've got to reverse out of here as well. Oh my God. Good job it's not peak rush hour, because this junction gets super busy. But yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. I hate that junction because it splits off. Because the motorway's split. It's one of them where, like, whichever lane you go in, you're kind of committed. So obviously if you come to this side and you want to go straight on, you're committed to going down there now. Mate, you can, I can't believe this. I've just got a car pulled up right behind me. Like, you can see that I'm trying to reverse here. What are you doing? You can't be that dumb, surely. He's literally, He's literally sat right behind me. At least I'm not the only one who's cocked up anyway, look. Oh, I can't believe I've just done that on camera. But yeah, that junction gets mad busy in the day, mad busy. Oh, he got through in the end, look. The guy who decided to drive up my arse in the car is also stuck at the barrier as well. You see what I mean? Look, it splits off in so many directions. Like, immediately after the péage. And if you don't get in the right lane, like I didn't. I mean, I came to the right side. I came to the right side of the split. But obviously went to the wrong booth. Obviously, I should have gone to the one with the automatic barrier for the tags. But if you don't get the right side of the split straight away, then you're going to end up just having to go the wrong way. And like I said, this is the Tangenziali now, like kind of Milan ring road. And it gets super, super busy at like certain times of day. So like I said, if you go to the wrong way, you could end up losing a lot of time. "100% going to leave that footage in as well, just to prove that mistakes are made. We're all human. So I'm just a kilometre away from the parking, and this is pretty much going to be the end of the video now, because I will do Barcelona in another video. I think I've yapped on enough for one episode. I sometimes wonder what people actually enjoy about watching these videos, you know, because I'm just driving around talking nonsense really for the most part. But evidently enough people enjoy them, so as long as you lot keep enjoying them, I'll keep making them. When I can, anyway. When the time's right. So it's 4:45 local time, and I tell you what, another hour and going into the wrong lane at the péage back there could have been a costly mistake, because I would have had a whole lot more traffic behind me to try and reverse into. So I need to turn left here somewhere. These looks a little bit narrow there. I think it is the right one though. Yeah, I can see some trucks. That's a nice big high curb there. I'm gonna have to take that. Nice and wide. So this is going to be me, isn't it? Because obviously I'm going to park up now. I should get almost 2 clear days off here now. I'll probably end up leaving here about 4 o'clock. What is it now? Tuesday morning. I'll probably end up leaving here about 4 o'clock Thursday morning. Obviously, I don't have to go and load in or out, so I don't know if we're staying here or not. Actually, that's a good point. You know, I hope they're gonna put some power in, because at the minute I can't see any electrical outlets, and it's going to be a warm one for the next couple of days. So I don't want to be running the engine for the next 2 days, really, with the aircon. Normally, when we park somewhere like this, they put in electrical outlets, you know, so we can plug the trucks in. I guess they'll sort that once we've done the loading. I don't know. Right, enough waffle for one video anyway. So thanks for watching, and see you next time. So I'm just going to add this footage in at the end, because I forgot to mention it when I pulled up here in the morning. But obviously you will see now that I'm using the Insta360 alongside the Osmo Action 5. And like, I don't know whether it's going to go down well with people or not. Or obviously I'm sure it will with some people and maybe not with others. But let me know what you think in the comments. I personally like it. It allows me to have different, you know, multiple angles or views, and it allows me to have, say, one facing out and one facing me at the same time, without obviously having to stop and move the where I've got the single camera mounted. Because what I do is I mount the 360 on the windscreen, and obviously I have the Osmo on the bunk behind me. And yeah, like I said, it allows me to use different views. Now the 360 is a really clever camera. Like, basically it's got 2 cameras. Like, it's the one, let me see if I've got it somewhere. So you've got the one piece of equipment, and you have a camera both sides, and it just basically, both cameras have a 180-degree field of view. And what it does is, like, obviously it shoots 2 180-degree fields of view, and then in the editing software afterwards, you can spin it like by hand, and basically choose which perspective you want to see. So I think it's a really clever piece of camera equipment, and with all the mounts and stuff that I've got with it, and for the Action as well, to be fair, with the Osmo, I've got so many different mounts, and like, I'm going to be able to mount it in different places, like I said, and get completely different fields of view, or perspective, should I say. So yeah, I'd like to use it again in the future, but obviously if it's a big no from, if it's a resounding no, I don't like it, then, you know, I won't bother, and I'll just stick to the one camera. But again, like I said, let me know in the comments what you think of it, and if it goes down well, then, you know, hopefully in the future I'll like I said, I'll be able to use some angles and perspectives that you wouldn't normally get to see, obviously, with just having the one camera mounted in the cab. But yeah, also it was a bit of a rushed ending yesterday, wasn't it? So like I said, again, thank you very much for watching. As always, take care, and we'll see you in the next one.